Hello, everyone, and welcome to this. And just finished watching the Toronto Raptors versus Philadelphia 76ers game. Obviously, Raptors come away with a victory in a game they obviously should win. But my goodness, to me, it doesn't even feel like the team went out there and even won the game. It feels to me like the Raptors went out there and lost because defensively, I'm getting a little sick and tired of watching the Toronto Raptors let teams come back and leave the door open, because if the Toronto Raptors right now weren't putting up the offensive numbers they were and being the best offense right now in the NBA, this would totally be a different story, and it would be a classic. Honestly, the Raptors would right now be like what the Leafs are on the hockey rink right now for watching what they do, is because the Leafs can come out there, and even though while they're young, they still find ways to lose games. They let teams come back on them. The Raptors would do the same. I mean, you cannot let the 76ers put 40 points on you in the fourth quarter in a game that should have been over, and you should have shut down defensively at least at the midway point of the third quarter, because that's the way this team was playing. They came out hot in the third and got things going. It was a sluggish start. It was kind of back and forth, but you could see what the Raptors offense can do. When the Raptors offensively want to turn it on, they can. Like, just look at the stats tonight. DeMar, who didn't play in the fourth quarter, and I think obviously that has a lot to do with it. That's not a slight on him at all. I mean, actually it shows how well of an important player he is. But when DeMar wants to turn it on, DeMar in 29 minutes put 31 points on the floor. Kyle Lowry had 36 points. Jonas Valanciunas had himself actually a real nice game. A lot of people want to slag on Jonas, and I've been maybe a little unfair on him, but a double-double night's a double-double night. And Terrence Ross is coming onto himself as well as a solid player for a guy that, people just want to throw their hands up when they see Terrence Ross. But defensively, I mean, this team is letting teams just come back on him. You saw Monday night, the Milwaukee Bucks with the Greek Freak. Like, he single-handedly nearly willed the team to have a comeback. But when the Raptors want to turn it on, that's why they're getting away with it, because they're being such a prolific offense, best offense right now in the NBA. But this needs to stop. You cannot let the 76ers put 40 points on you in the fourth quarter, because guess what? When we get to crunch time, which is going to be April, this team is a definite playoff contender. And this team goes out in the first round, you're going to know why. Because defense was not taken seriously. And I'm so tired of hearing about, head coach Dwayne Casey being the defensive specialist. Where the hell has the defense been? It is not there. If the Raptors don't go out there and just run and gun on you early in the first half like they did against the Lakers or the Hawks a couple weeks ago, game has the potential of being a near collapse situation. They need to find ways to get stops. They need to tighten up. They're letting teams get too many second chance points opportunities. It's honestly really rough to watch. I'm just thankful right now that the team is playing so well offensively. That's why obviously everyone can get away. They can get away with this right now, because they need to tighten up defensively. It's getting to the point where I don't even feel like they won this game. It feels like the Sixers found a way to get back on them and come away with this victory. It honestly feels that way a little bit to me right now. I mean, the Sixers are a team who are clearly trusting their process, having, solid nights, a solid night tonight when you just look at the stats for them. I mean, Robert Covington had himself a game. He played 31 minutes, had 26 points, 12-board, double-double for him, and he shot 50% from the floor as well. Okafor, 66%. Gerald Henderson, 85% shooting, 16 points in 24 minutes for him as well. I mean, this is something that needs to be addressed, and I don't know what is it going to take. Is it going to a trade per se? I don't know, but this team right now, you just kind of maybe don't want to see a trade because of how offensively gelling and how much of a unit they are. But tighten up. It's getting to be embarrassing. And you're going to see this team mentally or somehow collapse when this is why you can't beat the teams like Cleveland in the East, and why you're not going to have a solid run against those teams in the West like San Antonio or Golden State. Because your defense is so bad right now. And you're lucky the schedule's been how it's been with the teams you've played, with only, a real loss to the Cavs, because your defense is so bad right now. this needs to be tightened up and addressed. Or when we get to April and that playoff run we want to see from last year in 2007, now into 2017, and it's not there, you're going to know why. It's not a laughing matter, people. We need to come to all as one as Raptor fans and just realize this needs to be addressed. Stops need to be happened. You cannot give up 40 points to the 76ers and or teams of that nature. This needs to be fixed because I want to see this team succeed. And right now, they're honestly one of the pride and joys because they seem to be the only absolute unit in Toronto sports right now. Who knows what the Blue Jays are going to be like? The Leafs are still a couple years away. This team needs to figure it out, and fast.